Listen, I want to start this conversation with reminding you of something really important, that January tends to lie to you as a leader. And when I say January tends to lie to you as a leader, I want to acknowledge something. You had a great end of the year last year. Your holiday season was perfect. You bought that new car. Maybe you got the new Rolex. You got yourself a new suit, and you feel like the new attire that you have is going to set you right at the beginning of the next year. I remember, when I was young and I would get a new sweatshirt or a new pair of shoes for Christmas, the first day back at school, I thought that these new clothes were going to make me different than I was the previous year. And sometimes we believe that just by a change of wardrobe, a change of clothes, and a change of the calendar, we're going to be different. We sometimes think that a new calendar means a new me. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't work like that. That's a lie. And the calendar has been lying to us for our entire lives, particularly as leaders. See, a new calendar doesn't equal new behavior. It doesn't. This is not about strategy, but this is about your belief system. See, your beliefs actually drive your behaviors. Your behaviors determine your outcomes. So my main context for you today is you got to stop listening to the month of January, because this is not about setting goals. This is not about scheduling meetings or planning incessantly. It's really about a question that you need to be asking yourself. And if you don't ask yourself this question, and if you don't answer this question, you will be leading a lie this year. Now, I want to make sure that you understand, and I'm going to repeat what I just said. If you don't ask yourself this question, and if you don't answer this question, you will be living a lie as a leader this year. Now, I know you probably think, Anton, what is the question? What is the question? I'm going to tell you the basic question. I want you to understand that before I tell you the question, I want you to know that this is all about who you default to. Who you default to. See, you can have the highest aspirations, the highest expectations, but you will default back to being who you are, particularly when times get tough. So here's the question. Who do I want to be under pressure? I'm just going to be honest with you that this year has a lot of promise, but it has a lot of uncertainty. There's uncertainty in almost every industry. There's uncertainty in the economy. We know that there's uncertainty around our national defense, our security as a nation. There's so much uncertainty right now that could impact you, your team, your organization. And so with that level of uncertainty, you might catch a left hook this year. It might come from out of nowhere. You won't see it coming. And then when it hits you in the mouth, you're going to default to being someone. Have you decided who you're going to default to? Have you decided who am I going to be when the uncertainty comes, when the pressure mounts, when the lights get the brightest, when we're down by 1 point and need a basket? Who am I going to be? Am I going to be the calm leader? Am I going to be the quiet leader or the silent leader? Am I going to be reactive? Or am I going to be the leader that disappears, to be absent? See, we all have the opportunity to make a choice when it comes to how we show up as a leader. But that choice is not about anything else other than who we mentally decide that we're going to be. See, again, your belief system about yourself as a leader drives your behaviors. Your behaviors determine your actions, and your actions determine your outcomes. So you can't get the good results, you can't get the good outcomes without very first having the belief system. So you got to have the belief system. Because if you don't have the belief system, then what's going to happen is you're going to default back to the old you under pressure. And then last year's results are going to be the exact same as this year. So you got to get yourself together to figure out who are you going to default to under pressure. Last year was a test, but this year is going to be a bigger test. So that's my question for you. And I'm going to give you a sentence to complete when I get to the end of the day. But here's what I want you to understand. I'm going to do 3 teaching points today, 3 simple teaching points about this whole context around who you plan to be when you show up under pressure, under uncertainty. Here's the main point. Your results follow your identity, not your intention. Your results follow your identity, not your intention. See, you can have all the intention in the world. I think there's a quote that I don't know who is attributed to, but I'm going to just go ahead and say it anyway. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. See, we all got good intentions. We all intend to do the right thing, to say the right thing, to show up the right way, to act the right way. We all intend to do all of those things. But the road to hell is paved with good intentions because your identity matters more. Like who you become when things get tough. This is one of the fundamental reasons why I teach leaders to stay authentic. Be yourself. Decide who you are and be that person. Stop trying to be somebody else. You can't be Anton Gunn, just like I can't be you. You can only be who you are. But the problem is, for us to reach the highest levels of leadership, sometimes we think we got to become the leader that other people want to see. That we literally put on airs. We literally try to mimic the behavior. I even had a dinner conversation just a week ago about a leader who is mimicking the cadence and the behavior of Barack Obama. That he's not being authentically himself. He's trying to sound like Barack Obama, look like Barack Obama. Well, he can't really look like Barack Obama because he's white, but just trying to act like Barack Obama. You know what I mean? In terms of how he carries himself. Now, I'm not saying it's good to see people who have good traits and behaviors and say, you know what, those things, are good things that I should probably, think about incorporating in my life. But I'm talking about being yourself, being true to who you are, being authentic. Because when the pressure mounts, the real you is always going to come out. So you got to decide right now, who am I as a leader? What's my belief about how I'm going to show? What's my identity as a leader? Am I going to be the leader that always motivates the team? Or am I going to be the leader that has to close all of the doors and keep everybody away from me so I can focus on the strategy to solve the problem? You got to decide who you are as a leader, because your identity is more important than your attention. And your identity is going to lead to those results. That's the first point that I want you to understand. There's the second point that I want you to understand is that as this year starts, I want you to know that busyness is not good. See, when I say busyness is the most accepted form of avoidance. Busyness is the most accepted form of avoidance. That you avoid confrontation, you avoid conversations, you avoid having to do the hard things by saying, oh man, I'm just too busy. I was too busy not to pay attention. I've even had executives tell me about when there were difficult conversations that were supposed to happen at the executive team table. They found a way to make themselves busy that they couldn't come to the meeting. I'm crashing on a deadline, so I can't make that meeting. Or I got to finish this report, so I can't make that meeting. Or I got a conflict that I can't move, so I can't make the meeting. Busyness is the wrong approach to avoid confrontation. That's what some people are doing. They're avoiding what they need to be addressing by saying that they're busy. Busyness is what you cannot afford to have happen in 2026. So you got to be crystal clear about who you plan to be as a leader. And I'm going to give you a statement, a sentence that I want you to complete and write it down. I want you to put it in the comments if you feel froggy. But I really want to hear your answers to this statement. I want you to complete this sentence. But let me stay on track. Second point is busyness is the most accepted form of avoidance. Don't be busy to avoid the challenges that come. You got to hit them head on. Here's the third point. Momentum starts with the decision, not a plan. A lot of people think momentum starts with motion. No. Momentum starts with the moment of truth. The moment of truth is the moment you decide to accept who you are authentically is the most important person in your life. That who you are authentically is who your colleagues need to see and know. Who you are authentically is the person that has been delivering for this organization year after year after year. Not about your degree, not about where you went to school, not about where you trained, not about where you got your doctorate. All of those things are just credentials and accolades on top. But who you are is how you should show up. That's how you're going to get momentum. Momentum starts with you, a decision to be you, a decision to be truthful about who you are. So don't let January lie to you and cost you your results because you're unwilling to say who you are and show up as your true self, that you're unwilling to confront the challenges ahead and instead you avoid them. Don't let January lie to you and allow you to lose momentum because you're afraid to have that moment of truth. January is lying to you. If you think just flipping the calendar over, setting some new goals, driving that new car to the office, putting on that new outfit, the new watch, the new ring, the new thing that makes you feel like a different person, you're not a different person until you believe that you're a different person. Clothes don't make a man. They don't make anybody, a woman either. Who you are makes you who you are. So I want you to understand that you got to get yourself together and be clear and be focused that this year is not about anything else other than showing up as the person that you are for the team that you have to do what you need to do. You got to answer the question that when the lights get bright, when the pressure gets on, when the uncertainty comes, when the adversity comes, that I'm not going to avoid it by pretending to be busy, that I'm not going to shy away from it and think that other people are going to get it done for me. What type of leader are you going to be? So let me give you the statement, the sentence that I want you to complete. I want you to take out a piece of paper, bookmark this video, share it with somebody who you know is in a leadership role. Do whatever it is you need to do with the content. But I want you to make sure that you answer and complete this sentence. It's not really a question. It's a sentence for you to complete. And the sentence starts, this year, I will show up as the leader who blank. This year, I will show up as the leader who fill in the blank. I'm going to repeat it for the third time. This year, I will show up as the leader who blank. Who are you going to show up as a leader? This year, I will show up as a leader who will continue to teach leaders how to build diverse, high-performing teams in a world-class culture by exercising their power and increasing their impact without losing their integrity. That's how I'm going to show up. I'm going to help you to exercise your power, increase your impact, and not lose your integrity. But integrity starts with first knowing your beliefs, knowing your values, knowing what you believe. Last year was tough. This year is going to be tougher. More pressure, more uncertainty, more adversity, more all of the things that are going to shine a light on who you are as a leader. So the question is, who are you? Who are you going to be under pressure? And January is going to lie to you and make you think that just by putting on a new suit, getting a new watch, new car, maybe even you change your office around. You took them old pictures off the wall, put some new pictures up, move your desk in a different location so you can have better light. Because you think, oh, because I moved the room around, that I'm going to be different this year. No, it don't work like that. To be different, you got to do the internal work. You got to do the work on your belief system. It doesn't change your behavior to move your room around. It changes your behavior when you believe different. So you act different. And when you act different, it gives you different outcomes that leads to different results. Beliefs drive behaviors. Behaviors drive actions. Actions determine outcomes. Those are your results. So I'm going to ask you, who are you going to be under pressure? Let me know right now. Give me one word to describe who you're going to be under pressure. Are you going to be calm, resilient, creative, reactive, absent? Be honest with yourself and be honest with me. It's okay to be who you are. If you don't like conflict, don't want conflict, just say, I'm out. Because that's happened in organizations. When things get tough, people will walk away. That's who they are. But at least they're telling you who they are. So I want you to tell me who you are. Don't let January lie to you. It lies to leaders all the time. People really do think that my results are going to change because I look different this year. I set different goals. Doesn't work like that. So I want you to get started on the right foot this year and don't live a lie as a leader. It starts with your belief system. So complete this sentence. I'm going to repeat it again. This year, I will show up as a leader who blank. What's your blank? How are you feeling in the blank? This year, I will show up as a leader who fill in the blank. That's going to set you up for success because you have to believe who you are. And the only way you first believe it is you got to write it down. Then commit yourself to doing it. So that's what I got for you on this first Business Wednesday of the year, is know that January is lying to you and it's going to cost you your results. And the only way you change that is to change what you believe, how you plan to show up. Who do you plan to default to under pressure? And I'm going to give you the 3 teaching points as I close. Number 1, your results follow your identity, not your intention. Number 2, busyness is the most accepted form of avoidance. And number 3, your momentum starts with the decision, not just a plan. Because everybody got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. There's a quote from Mike Tyson, attributed to Mike Tyson, that he had a plan, or everybody got a plan when they come to fight him, or they're going to box him, or they're going to move on him. And then when he hit him with that first punch, the real them comes out. They default back to who they've always been. And you're going to default back to who you've always been until you build a better belief system. So I want to thank you for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And I'll see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel for Leadership Live with Anton Gunn. Have a great day.